Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome to the Soul Drop, and this is my performance review of D'Angelo Russell's second signature shoe with Way of Wade. So if you guys didn't know, he signed with Way of Wade. And this shoe is going for $100. So if you guys do want to cop, I try to leave a link in the description box. But let's get started off with the Tracciones, and the traction is freaking amazing, guys. I really like playing in this shoe because of the phenomenal traction, just like in the original D-Low Ice. So that's what kind of sucks though, is they basically recycled the outsole and midsole, like the tooling of the shoe from the original D-Low Ice, and put it into the V2, the second version. It's not bad though, because the traction was top tier in the first one, right? And it's also top tier here in the second one. So you don't really have to break it in at all, maybe just a tiny bit, but once you do, it has an amazing bite. So if you're playing on a clean court, you're gonna be good to go. Just top tier traction, top tier stop, right? If you're playing on a dusty court, also it bites through dust really well. It does pick up dust a little bit, however, right, just the new surface that I'm playing on, I don't know what it is with the finish on my wood floors, like compared to my old one, but I feel like the shoes like that I'm playing in picks up a little bit more dust than like on the older kind of surface. But anyways, it's still pretty damn good, right? It's a very easy wipe. And also, like I said, it doesn't pick up dust that quickly, so that's good. Also durability, like I feel like it's you're gonna be good to go, right? Super thick grooves, the rubber's very hard, and the grooves are deep. So if you're playing on an outdoor court, you should be good to go here in the Ice Bleu V2. I'm sorry, I just love calling it the Ice Bleu, so I'm just gonna keep calling it the Ice Bleu V2. Sorry if it gets annoying. But yeah, the traction is phenomenal. It's top tier, so there is the traction there. Moving on to the heel to toe transition, also it's very smooth, right? So here in the heel, we have a very nice rounded shape. However, it is super caged, right? The rubber outsole does come up the cage. The foam, a good amount here in the heel, but it doesn't feel super clunky or anything. And then here in the forefoot, we have a nice rounded shape and a good amount of forefoot flex. Look at that, crazy amount. But also torsion support is pretty damn good because of the Pro Bar lock. It's this plastic piece. So overall, heel to toe transition is very smooth. And now moving on to the cushioning setup. The cushioning setup isn't the best, right? So we have full length light foam, and just like in the first shoe, it is pretty damn stiff, right? So as far as the step and comfort goes, it's also not the best. Like the insole is very stiff. There's actually like zero foam to it and zero compression. And then underneath that, which kind of saddens me, because like the Strobo board is on the stiffer side of things, but it's still like kind of soft, you know? Like if you look at the Luka ones, the Luka ones is super stiff, right? Like it feels like, I don't know, like this, like the table, a wooden table. But if you kind of like press here, it's a little bit softer, but it's not as soft as like the mesh Strobo board. And that's what they gave us. Like Way of Wade, coming from the All City 10, like the regular All City 10, to the All City 10 V2, they gave us that mesh Strobo board, right? So I wish they would have done that here in the Ice Bleu V2, but they didn't. But also step and comfort is not that bad. I just wish, you know, either they would have made the insole softer or thinner, because it's just like this, I don't know what this is. This insole like's pretty stiff, right? It doesn't improve step and comfort really at all. So step and comfort's all right. It's not terrible, however. But yeah, overall, this light foam is not that soft. You know, I don't know what it is, because light foam in the Speed 9 Premium was actually pretty nice, right? So there's just a tiny bit of compression here in the heel, but mostly stiff. I guess the good thing is that it's like you have good court feel, and it's responsive, but you can do that with like, you know, Converse with like the rubber midsole, you know what I mean? So yeah, those are like pretty much the only two good things, is responsiveness and court feel. And I guess like kind of good step and comfort, but overall, like, there's not a whole lot of balance, not a whole lot of compression, not the best for impact protection, right? So yeah, just like the first D-Low Ice, the cushioning setup here in the Ice Bleu V2 is it's right? All right, moving on to the materials. So the materials, it's actually not that bad, right? So they're using a knit material with like basically like TPU strands, right? TPU stitching, and TPU is basically just plastic, but it's kind of like woven, which is nice, right? So it feels actually like kind of nice for quality, you know what I mean? It doesn't feel super cheap or anything, and also like the fuse, I don't know what it is with Way of Wade, but the fuse that they use isn't like super cheap, like especially comparing it to like the Spawn 5s. The Spawn 5s are right over there. Super cheap, kind of like fuse materials, you know, but here it's actually not that bad. We also have a little bit of fuse here in the tip of the toe, more on the medial side for a better support and also better durability for toe drags. So yeah, it's super thin. It feels great on foot. It conforms to your foot super well. It's supportive overall. So I like it. And for $100, it feels nice for quality, right? Stays extremely thin here in the midfoot. The tongue also is super large. Look at that. Extremely large tongue. There's zero padding. I guess there's a little bit here on top, but you don't really, I mean, you're not gonna feel the foam here, right? But yeah, super minimal tongue. Also, one thing I don't like about the tongue though is that it's independent, right? It's not a half booty construction, which kind of sucks because, you know, I guess the tongue does stay in place because the laces go through these like lace loops, right, on the tongue. So that keeps the tongue in place, but it kind of folds over on itself a little bit, right, when you're trying to lace it up. So that's kind of annoying. I mean, it has nothing to do with performance. I mean, it has a little bit to do with performance because it does improve the overall fit if it's like a half booty construction tongue, but it's not that big of a deal, right? And then here in the ankle area, we have super minimal padding as well. Like very minimal, but I guess like there's a little, just a tiny bit where your Achilles is. So overall, it's a really minimal feeling upper, which I do like. If you want like a super cozy material, super like foamy material as well, kind of like in the Dawn issue line, like the Dawn issue 2 and 3, obviously this isn't the best option, but if you're looking for a minimal material that feels great on foot and conforms to your foot very well, and also like pretty nice for quality, then this is a great option, and I really like the upper. Now moving on to the fit, I went up half a size, and I feel like, you know, all of Way of Wade shoe or like leaning shoes kind of like fit short. So I do go up half a size. That's kind of like my size now. And like Nike, Under Armour, and all the other companies, I kind of just go true to size, and then in the Way of Wades, I kind of go up half a size, right? But anyways, it fits me extremely well. There is a little bit of length, just a tiny bit, but I feel like if I went true to size, it would be a little too snug lengthwise. So for most people, I would suggest going up half a size, right? And also, look at this. I don't know if you guys can see, but it kind of like dips in right here, which feels great because I like to have a very snug toe box, which this shoe has. And also it's a pretty narrow fit, and a slightly narrow fit, so it fits me extremely well. It's also a super easy shoe to put on because like you have this crazy heel tab, it comes up a lot. So yeah, it fits me extremely well. If you have a wide foot or you want to room your fit, probably go up a full size, right? All right, moving on to the support and lockdown, I had zero issues, right? So as you guys can see, the foam comes up a good amount, acting as a sidewall. Here in the forefoot, here in the midfoot, we have this kind of like rubber piece or plastic piece. And here in the heel, we have an internal TPU heel counter, so lateral containment was very good for me. And also lateral stability is very good. Look at this. Super wide. Look at how much this midsole and outsole protrudes out right here in the forefoot. So lateral stability also is super good. So support and long down, I was good to go. And then also I had zero heel slippage, even though there is like zero foam. You know what I mean? It just like, it has a very nice cupping shape here in the heel. So I had zero heel slippage. And now moving on to the weight of the shoe, if I remember correctly, it's like around average weight, right? So light foam isn't the lightest. Yeah, so 12.13 ounces. This is a little bit lighter than average. Let's check the other shoe. 12.35 ounces, right? So it's a little bit lighter than average, but basically average weight. But I did enjoy playing in the shoe because it's super responsive, right? So if I wanted to do something like a crossover, a cut, step back, whatever, it would listen to me because the traction is very good. You know, I stop pretty much on a dime, cushions low to the ground and responsive, not too much like lag, not too much compression or anything. Lockdown was good. My foot felt held into the shoe and all that. So yeah, I felt very quick when I was playing in the Ice Blur V2. So there is the weight there. Moving on to ventilation. Ventilation is pretty damn nice, right? So it's a super thin material and we have pretty good airflow through this kind of like knitted upper. So yeah, ventilation is overall very good. And also here where the tongue is, look at that. We have a good amount of like airflow as well, these ventilation holes. And now moving on to the aesthetics, I love it. It looks awesome. Right, I feel like it looks a little bit better than the first version, right? This upper, but yeah, I don't know what it is with Way of Wade, but their designs, it just looks awesome, right? This colorway looks great too. Yeah, I feel like their logo looks great too. Look at that, this logo. So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, yes, just like the D-Low Ice. I don't know why they changed the name. It used to be D-Low Ice, now it's Ice Blood V2. But anyways, whatever, it's a great performer, right? It's a great performer for guards, right? If you're looking for a responsive shoe. Of course, the downfall is the cushion, right? Like if you're a younger person, obviously that doesn't really matter too much, but if you're an older person looking for good impact protection and stuff like that, something comfortable, something soft. Obviously this is not a great option, but if you're a guard looking for a very quick and responsive feeling shoe that's like overall lightweight and very minimal because of this upper, then this is an amazing option, and I did enjoy playing in the Ice Blood V2 because of that. Of course, I'm not gonna choose this shoe if my legs and my feet are feeling a little fatigued and I want impact protection, right? But if I'm looking for a responsive shoe, this is a great option for me. You know, just like, you know, if I want to pick like the Dame Certified, super responsive, Curry 10, super responsive, stuff like that. The Ice Blood V2 is also in the conversation. You know what I mean? Like if I'm choosing to pick a shoe that I want to play in that day, right? So anyways, that about concludes my review of the Wave Weight Ice Blood V2. Again, if you guys do want to cop, I'll try to leave a link in the description box, but that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.